A Harvard sociologist gave it a name in 2019, and the second I read it, I exhaled. Cognitive labor, that invisible, never ending mental work of anticipating, planning, and tracking everyone's needs. It's not in your head because you're disorganized. It's a real, measurable job. And summer just tripled your hours. Welcome back. This is Dr. Lisa. We're on day 3 of Kids Are Out of School, Science Backed, Soul Supported. And today we're talking about the mental load nobody can see. This is our one science deep dive of the week, so settle in. Let me describe a feeling and you tell me if it's yours. You sit down, for the first time all day, your body's still and your mind will not stop. Did the permission slip get signed? Wait, there's no school. Okay, did we RSVP to the thing? Is there milk? Where's the dentist appointment? Did the baby eat their vegetables? And what are we doing for lunch tomorrow? You're not doing anything and you're wrung out. That's not weakness, that's a workload. In 2019, sociologist at Harvard named Alison Daminger published a study called The Cognitive Dimension of Household Labor in the American Sociological Review. She did dozens of deep interviews with couples, and she finally gave language to what so many of us carry and have carried throughout the years. She showed that the invisible work has 4 distinct parts. You anticipate what's coming and what everyone will need. You identify the options for handling it, you make the decision, and then you monitor it. You track whether or not it actually gets done. Anticipate, identify, decide, and monitor. It's on a loop for the whole household, all day. And here's why it wrecks you. It's invisible. Nobody sees it, including half the time you. There's nothing to point to, no box check, no proof of work, and it never clocks out. It runs in the background while you're doing everything else. Now, layer summer on top of that. During the school year, that one institution was silently carrying a giant slice of the load. Where the kids are at 10 a.m., whether they've eaten, what the day's shape actually is. So when school lets out and every bit of that comes home to roost, literally, on you, all day, every day, with no bell to end it, here's where the work I teach comes in. And on Wednesdays, I bring you one tool from the 7 mindful questions. The first question is deceptively simple. Question 1, what am I doing right now? And I know that how small that sounds, but think about what the mental load actually is. It's your attention yanked out of the present and scattered across 14 future problems all at once. You can't set down a load you can't see. Question 1 makes it visible for 1 second. It catches you mid-spiral and drops you back into one moment you're actually in. And that little landing, that's the one place you ever get to choose to put the load down, even for 30 seconds. And there's a second sting to the invisibility, because nobody can see this work. Nobody can help you carry it. And worse, when you finally snap or go quiet, the people around you are genuinely baffled, because from the outside, you basically just sitting there. Daminger found that this is often exactly where the conflict starts. One person is doing all the anticipating and monitoring for the whole household, and everyone else reads it like nothing at all. So the first gift of question 1 isn't only that it calms you down, it makes the invisible visible to you first. So you can finally name it out loud to the people you live with instead of silently drowning in it. I use this one constantly. The classic for me is lying in bed at night, brain running the full inventory, and I stop and I ask, what am I doing right now? Answer, I'm lying in bed. I'm safe. The list is not happening to me at the moment. I'm just rehearsing it. And that tiny bit of distance is enough to set it down and actually sleep. It doesn't solve the light. It interrupts the spin. And the spin is what's exhausting you. Today's challenge is question 1 3 times today. When you feel the mental list spinning up, stop and ask yourself out loud if you can, what am I doing right now? Not to fix anything, just to land back in the actual moment you're in instead of the 14 you're managing in your head. 3 times. Notice what happens to the spin the second you name where you actually are. So tell me in the comments, what's the one mental tab you can never close? The one that's always running in the background. I want to hear it because I read every single comment and everyone benefits from reading your comments as well. If this gave you language for something you've been carrying, like, subscribe, tap the bell, and save it to a playlist. Leave that comment because that's where this community comes alive. The bigger the circle, the more light we carry. That's Nezen, and I'm glad you're in it. Tomorrow, a story, a mom who walked into the exact same chaos and walked out a different person. Here's a question to reflect. If your mental load became a literal list on paper tonight, how many items would surprise the people you live with? Might be a good exercise.